Welcome to 100 Days of Trailhead, where the tech community comes to learn Salesforce, learn tech, get inspired, and invest in ourselves. We are your trail guides, here to support you on your learning journey. We release videos weekly. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video. In the description below, you can find links for everything we mention in this video, as well as books and resources we found useful. Visit our blog, 100daysoftrailhead.com, for other helpful Salesforce and tech content. Business users and clients ask for process automation all the time so they can be more efficient with less clicks. We want to provide that to them, but how do we know which Salesforce tool to use? There's so many to automate processes. Aaron McGriff, Golden Hoodie winner, 3-time certified slalom consultant, is going to discuss today various different tools for process automation and when to use them. But did you know? Aaron McGriff is also an award-winning singer in his car, alone, so he says. Automating regular business processes in your instance is so important. In this video, Aaron McGriff will explore flows, macros, email to case, approval processes, and case assignment rules. Aaron is a former loss prevention manager with 2 stints of unemployment, turned techie by the power of Trailhead. Your quest, should you choose to take it, is to journey with us to learn how to incorporate process automation in your Salesforce instance. Your quest begins now.
Hi, everybody. I'm Aaron McGriff, and I'm here with 100 Days with Trailhead to give you my top 5 tools for process automation. So I'm going to jump right into it. So the first one I'm going to talk about is flow. Shameless plug, this is my absolute favorite thing to do in Salesforce. It's the thing I was the most afraid to do and honestly hadn't touched until about a year ago when it became part of my job to actually do. Flow is absolutely amazing. I will never touch a process builder again. I know I'll never do a workflow rule again because I know eventually that's going to go away. But Flow, my absolute favorite thing to do in Salesforce. My top tip for this is to first sketch out what you want to do. Flows can get very, very complicated. They can be very simple as just updating one field, or they can be as complicated as having multiple screens for your users to have to go through. So make sure you sketch out what you are trying to do first, so you don't be like me and have 20 different versions of the same flow because you're working without going off of an initial plan first. While you're building your flow, you want to determine what data you need in order to make your flow work. So before you start building your flow, understand what information you need first in order for your flow to function the way that you want it to. Next, you want to figure out what inputs you need from your user. So do you need your user to find records? Do you need your user to answer questions? Do you need your users to input information into your flow? And if so, what are those screens going to look like? What are those questions going to look like? And what inputs are you going to get from your flow? Next, you need to determine what you want your flow to do. Are you creating records in Salesforce? Are you updating records in Salesforce? Are you finding a collection of records and updating a bunch of records at the same time? Determine what you want your flow to do after you've gathered all your information. And then after you have that design, go in and build your flow. The last thing about flow is do not forget your confirmation screen. Give your users a way to know that everything that they just did in your flow worked. Of course, they don't know the ins and outs of what the admin does to build the flow, but sometimes it's still good to make sure that they have some kind of confirmation that everything they just did worked correctly. The next thing I want to talk about is macros. Macros are a way for you to make your users' lives easier, and at the same time, you can make your life easier because you don't have to build them. You can show your teams how they can automate the processes that they do every single day and have them build their own, and they can share their macros with other people. Lastly, encourage your team to create folders and share their macros with others, because if they're making their jobs easier creating their own macros, I'm certain that they can help someone else create ways to make their jobs more efficient as well. So the last topic on macros I want to talk about is giving your users the power to manage their macros in their own folders so they can stay organized themselves, and they can even share the macros that they create with others on the team. If everyone is creating macros, everyone is getting better in automating their own processes, and the more they share with each other, the more efficient your team can get. So please encourage sharing your macros to make your life easier as well as the lives of your users. The next automation tool that I want to talk about is email to case. Now, email to case will automate those case creations that come in from customers emailing you. Now, before email to case, your users would have to go and read an email, jump into Salesforce, create a case, enter in all the customer information. They will have to do all that manual work before they can actually start servicing their customers and giving them what they need. So what you need to think about for email to case is, first, who gets what? So when emails come in, are they all coming into the same inbox and going into the same queue? Are they all going to be assigned to one person? Or will you have a lot of people working a multitude of different kinds of cases? With email to case, you can set up a bunch of different queues. You can do them by language, by territory, or by however your business is set up to make sure that the right cases get to the right people and problems are solved quickly and efficiently. You can have one person on multiple different teams or all separate teams that work different kinds of cases. And you can also set up what priority each kind of case comes into Salesforce as to make sure that the highest severity cases are worked for first, so your customers are not left waiting. The next tool that I want to talk about are approval processes. Approval processes can get pretty difficult to set up, but just like your flows, you want to be able to kind of write down an outline of how you want your approval process to work. Approval processes are not just for cases. There are a multitude of objects in Salesforce that you can use approval processes for. If you're doing approvals for opportunities, you want to make sure that those approvals get into the right people's hands so they can push those deals forward. And lastly, you want to determine what happens at the end of your approval process. Does someone else get assigned a task when an approval is complete? Does a case just get closed when a process is complete? Or does some other huge form of automation get kicked off by an approval process being completed? These are all things that you want to think about and determine when creating your approval process. So the last tool that I want to talk about are case assignment rules. Cases can come into Salesforce in a multitude of different ways, be it via email, web form, live chat, text messaging, social media, a bunch of different ways. And what case assignment rules help you to do is point those cases in the right direction and make sure they get assigned to the right people or the right teams that can work those cases and help serve your customers in a quick and efficient manner. With case assignment rules, there will no longer have to be a person that assigns work to other users. Case assignment rules will assign those cases for you. So the first thing you need to determine is who will these cases be going to based on your case types, your record types, the language for each case, whatever type of criteria you have in your organizations, determine who gets those cases. Are cases all going to be served by queues, so multiple people working them, or will they be served by particular people? So with case assignment rules, you can have cases directly to queues of people, or if there's a specialty kind of case that only certain people can work, you can have those cases go to those certain people, get assigned to those certain people, so no cases get lost in the shuffle. So you can determine whether those cases need to go into queues or they can just be assigned to a singular person to make sure your cases are being worked the way that they should be.
And with that, we're at the end. What is your favorite process automation tool? Comment below. We would also love to hear what video topics you want us to cover in future videos in the comments. If you've made it to this point, we want to take an opportunity to say thank you. Since you've stayed with us, here's a bonus. When utilizing process automation tools, it is important to know when to move to a programmatic solution by leveraging Lightning Web Components or Apex. Make sure you know when to break away from using out-of-the-box process automation tools to use custom programmatic solutions. Thank you for spending time with us. Please like and subscribe to our channel because we share weekly content to support your tech and Salesforce learning journey. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a new video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and on 100daysoftrailhead.com, all of which are listed below. Thank you for learning with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.